2024 minutes, and I need a motion that they be approved.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion by Batilda,
I'll second.
second by Rick. All for, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Item number 3, consideration final subdivision plat of property located on Woodland and Virginia Street, Cunningham Division. I like went down too far.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So we have the Randall Cunningham final subdivision plat for the purpose of subdividing 2.09 acres into 4 proposed new lots for property located on Woodland Street and Virginia Street. Lot 1 would consist of 0.35 acres and is currently vacant. Lot 2 is 0.35 acres and is currently vacant. Lot 3 would consist of 0.68 acres and is currently vacant. Lot 4 would consist of 0.71 acres, an existing residential structure, and 3 existing accessory structures. Lots 1 and Lot 4 would front Woodland Street, and lots 2 and 3 would front Virginia Street. These lots are zoned R1 low-density residential, served by a 6-inch water line, 8-inch sewer line, an existing fire hydrant, and would comply with all other requirements of the subdivision regulations and the zoning ordinance. I would like to ask Christian Mansell if he did. Did you present this at the department head meeting?
Yeah, we had no problems with it, and we talked to Jerry Dale, and I let Brian know about the gravity flow sewer on one lot, if there was a question, but other than that, we're good to go.
Yep. Brian, anything to add on this division?
I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
I was just saying, I'm the land surveyor, I'm just here for Mr. Cunningham. Just
Okay.
happy to answer any questions.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir.
I move we approve.
Got a motion by Rick and
I'll second.
Item number 4, consideration request for rezoning property located on Jamestown Highway, further described as I-1 Light Industry, and to C3 General Commercial, Emory request.
Well, so we have a request from Randy Petersheim, who is the property owner. Chris Emery is the applicant. We have an affidavit here from Mr. Petersheim that allows Mr. Emery to present this request on his behalf. Mr. Emery is the one who has a contract pending this potential rezoning to buy this property. Now, this is the property that is located right next to the old bowling alley there on State Route 52, basically between Wayne's Grill and the old bowling alley, on that same side of the street. The purpose of the rezoning, like I said, is currently zoned I-1 industry, and the total size of the lot is 0.73 acres. So, as you all can imagine, that is not a very large site for industry. And so they are requesting that this property be rezoned to C3, which is our general commercial district. And the purpose of the rezoning is so that Mr. Emery can build a building with commercial storefront on the bottom and residential on the top. And he has just sent us some renderings here of that. That's a better rendering of what that'll look like there. Yeah, that's the rear. I think I've got the front here.
This is actually the better rendering.
Okay, so that wasn't sent to me then.
No, this was done last night.
Yeah, this is one, that's kind of what it'll look like. There's that store, there's the motel, Wayne's, and then that's where the proposed building will go. And then parking in front, it appears. But just going back to what we said initially, 0.73 acres is not a large piece of property, especially for an industry to locate on. There's commercial uses that are all around it, and so I have no issue with this rezoning. But Mr. Emery's here, he can answer any questions. Yes.
What is the business that you propose to put in the building?
Yep, correct button. The business would be a fruit and produce type business, smoothies, salads, selling produce itself.
Any other questions on this?
Is it enclosed? I mean, it's like it's not a fruit stand?
No, it will be.
Okay, so it's,
It'll be a restaurant.
Okay.
Essentially, a restaurant slash store, correct, Mr. Emery?
Yeah.
Thank
Ain't
you.
working.
That's good, we got it.
I'll move we approve it.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Item number 5, consideration final site plan for establishing a multi-family residential development on McHenry Street and Miller Street. Mitchell site plan.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So we have a site plan that has been submitted to us by Andy Mitchell for property located on Miller Street and McHenry Street. And if you're not familiar with that, that is near Central Park. It is directly across the street from where the storage buildings are right now. And it's where all those old mobile homes were located. And so those are gone now, and Mr. Mitchell plans to build looks like 8 units there. Mr. Mitchell has already presented this site plan to the Board of Zoning Appeals for variances back in November, and all of his variance requests were approved. Trying to get down here to where you can actually see the layout. There's a better look right there.
Is it 8 units?
8 units, yes, sir. And so there'll be 3 right there on the northern boundary, 3 on the western boundary, and 2 on the eastern boundary. Sure does appear to be a drastic improvement for what was there previously.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
already an improvement.
Does it border Daughtery, or just
No.
not where the old house was burnt or whatever?
No, I've tried to purchase that lot, but was unable to, so, Miss Miller.
I was wondering that myself. Would be nice if you could have got that other.
I know, it would have. Maybe in the future.
One thing, just, Andy, and this is going to be a private drive that is through here, maintained by a homeowners association.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's not a city street, and I'm guessing that the yards, the common areas and the street will be maintained by the HOA or POA or management group or whatever.
That's correct. Probably the only help I would need, if possible, and the city sees fit, would be for the sidewalks. I'd like to see sidewalks there to help really improve that area. So we'll just address that how we
Are
can.
you talking about internal or external?
External, there
Okay.
on the borders of the streets.
So on city right away then?
Yes,
So that would be your request that you'll make to the Board of Mayor and Alderman?
yes.
But with the variance request granted by the Board of Zoning Appeals, this site plan is in compliance with everything. Christian?
Yeah, the only thing we were waiting on was confirmation on the total lot size, and it did meet the requirement.
We got it for the lot density requirement, yep. Mr. Lane wants to address the piece of it.
Just one question, is parking within ordinance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, residential, we don't necessarily, it's 2 spaces per unit, and they've got 16.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Because I believe one will be internal and one will be external, correct?
Correct.
Do you have some?
I make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Have a motion by Rick, second by Robert. Vote on that. Item number 6, consideration and final site plan for establishing of a restaurant to be located on Bradford Hicks Drive, Brazen Q plan.
Yeah, so the owners of put this on, they're out of town, and so they had asked Christian and myself if we would present on our behalf. The site plan that's shown up here is not the final site plan. I did ask Phyllis to email you guys out that revised site plan. It looks a lot better, and it does show, one of the things that Christian and I were talking about was parking. It is required 12 parking spots, and they are providing 22 parking spots. Yes. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. My apologies. Oh, yeah, much better.
Yeah.
This is going to be located where Pat Poston's beauty salon used to be. And so they're just converting that existing building. They're not adding to the footprint.
Not adding to the footprint, they put in new water, sewer, and they're gonna put in, the required parking, that they need for the 800 square foot of floors that they will be servicing for customers.
Did they purchase this property?
Now Pat still owns it.
I need a motion that we go ahead and approve this plan as presented.
I so move.
Got a motion by Matilda,
Second.
second by Robert. All for, let me know by saying aye. Aye. Okay, thank you. At this time, before we close, I want our committee to remember Matilda and Bruce Elder. Okay, I'll keep keep your prayers, thoughts, or whatever, because they definitely need it. Okay. Also, the floor is open now for anyone that want to come in front of the board right now and address this board. If not, I need a motion we adjourn.
I so move.
Vicky?
Yes.
I'll say that.
Second by Matilda. All for, stand up.